Hello everyone and welcome back to Yorkshire. Now if you're new to the channel and you've not seen any of the videos from this place where I've been coming for the last 11 years, then go to the homepage, go to the playlist tab and scroll down to the Yorkshire Wildlife Reserve, because there are loads of cool projects that I've been undertaking here at this property, which is just over 2 acres, for a long time. And some of those projects include restoring some of the orchard that's already here, working on the south facing hillside, and I'm doing a mix of all sorts today. And in this video I'm going to be talking to you about this hedgerow behind me, because it is a really nice old hedgerow, but I'm actually going to be laying it, and it's a method that has been used for centuries to mark boundaries and to keep livestock in fields. But in this instance, we're not looking to keep livestock in or out, we're looking to improve it for wildlife. Now, the existing hedge line is a mix of hawthorn and damsons and a few other bit of dog rose, but not much. And it's actually been left so long that it's now got quite leggy, quite sort of scraggly, quite open at the bottom. So firstly, the nesting potential for birds has completely diminished, apart from the odd 1 or 2 stems that are starting to rot, which potentially could house 1 or 2 of the marsh tits that live on this site in the fullness of time, but the timber's not quite ready for that yet. So what am I going to be doing? Well, I'm going to be looking to save some of these bits of standing deadwood. Standing deadwood in the UK is an increasingly rare habitat, one of the rarest you might say, because it is something that we tidy up all too often. Throughout our landscape, we are continually felling trees, taking limbs off trees because they might pose a threat or a risk. And absolutely, that's a necessity when we're looking at the safety of people driving a car underneath a tree that might potentially fall over. But in this instance, there's no risk, there's no harm to anyone, they're not massive trees. So I'm going to look to retain as much of this standing deadwood as possible. I'm also going to be using this traditional hedge laying method to try and make a really dense hedge at the bottom, so this can then bush out, and the idea being that this then provides a lot more habitat for our nesting birds, a lot more cover for things like wood mice, and hopefully encourages lots of regrowth, which is going to really reinvigorate these bushes and trees which are coming towards the end of their life. They are starting to collapse already, and I really want to give this hedgerow, or this section of hedgerow, a new lease of life so it can provide more nectar in the form of the flowers in the spring, from blackthorn being one of the best plants that you can have in the wider countryside and in a garden setting, if your garden can take a few suckers coming up. For wildlife in the spring months. It's just starting to flower now towards the end of February, and it's one of the first shrubs and trees to flower here in the UK. So it's a vital nectar and pollen source for many of our insects. That, along with the odd hawthorn in there and the dog rose, is really going to provide a fabulous mix of flowering potential as we move through the spring months. So hopefully by laying this hedge this time next year, it's going to look something very, very different. So first things first, I'm going to get in there with the chainsaw, start cutting back some of the material that we don't need, and then I can start laying it. Stay tuned, this should be quite an interesting project. Well, part of the problem with this hedge, as I mentioned earlier, is it's so rotten. This bit, as you can see, I'm able to literally pull out of the ground. Just like that. So it just proves the point that this hedge is failing, and if left to its own devices, it's just going to continue to collapse. Of course, not ideal. Yes, the standing deadwood is great, but I am keeping all the logs and making a bit of a log stack with sections that I'm cutting into sort of 3-4 foot lengths. So nothing is being wasted, and the brash is all being taken to different parts of the site to create more dead hedging, and the smaller bits of dead wood that are coming out of this hedge as I'm taking it down, I'm breaking up and putting in the bottom of the hedge as kind of mini hibernaculums, if you like, mini potential nesting spots for birds such as dunnock, possibly wren as well. So yeah, a really good way to recycle everything on site, although it comes at a cost. My arm now is kind of getting slightly peppered, but there you go, that's part of it. I love this type of work. It's so nice to rejuvenate trees that would just naturally be dying out and rotting, as we've just seen. I can't put it off any longer. I've got to get back in there and get scratched again. Stay tuned. Well, it's day 2 and not quite the beautiful blue skies I had yesterday evening. Absolutely glorious sunset here as the sun was setting over in the distance. But today I've only got a few more meters of the hedgerow to do behind me, and then I can start thinking about getting all the stakes in and the binders, which is basically a way of giving the hedge some structure and holding it together while it establishes again. So yes, looking forward to doing that. But yesterday was a bit grueling. I got quite a few slashes and cuts to the arms, but yeah, it's really nice to see this hedge now really starting to take shape. You can see I've left a bit of standing deadwood there. I've got another one I'm going to leave a bit further along, and then yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing start to develop and start to become a proper thick hedge again, which will be really good for all the nesting birds, of which there's robins and all sorts, blue tits, song thrushes, everything around this morning. So it's really nice to see. Yeah, so I'm going to get my gloves back on, get the chainsaw over, get this last section cut down, and then we can start getting in the stakes and the binders. Stay tuned. Okay, that's the hedge now officially laid. Now it's time to get the stakes and the binders and get these in to really finish this hedge off, to hold it in place and to help it establish into a really nice, dense, thick habitat. Now the stakes and the binders for the fencing that I'm going to be putting in are actually sourced locally from Rutland. They are from a woodland that is managed by a friend of mine who I know very well from the bird fair, Eric, and he does a great job of managing this piece of woodland sustainably. So this is timber that is produced yearly, but it's from a managed rotational crop. So he manages a different part of the wood each year, and there's a constant source of this lovely fresh hazel, which is a wonderful product to use, very supple but very strong, so it's great for using the stakes and then binding everything together. So I was really pleased to go and see some of his woodland at long last and to source this product, which is now going to go in to make this a really good habitat for wildlife. So the stakes and the binders are just behind the camera. I'm going to pick those up and get finishing this hedge. Stay tuned. Well, that's the stakes and the binders now in. It's now just a case of the last finishing touches, so trimming the tops off the stakes and doing a little bit of trimming work to the hedge itself, and then we're finished. Well, there you have it, one hedge laid for wildlife. And I really apologise again to all you expert hedge layers out there for anything that I've done that has absolutely made your toes curl. Obviously I'm not doing this full time. I've done a little bit of it in the past, but I really wanted to just show you guys what can be achieved with an old, decaying, dying hedge, which, as I've already said, has its benefits for wildlife, but we want to restore this hedge line to give it its maximum potential for wildlife. And obviously during the process I've created many a log pile. There's more of which are dotted around the site. We've got brash piles all scattered around, which are going to be great refuge for things like hedgehogs. We've got dead wood that I've put under the hedge, more logs under the existing hedge as well. So they're going to be really good habitat for so many mammals, insect species, fungi, and really this is helping to create an entire ecosystem. And the point being on this 2-acre site that this isn't just about laying a hedge, getting it perfect and making it look tidy and neat. This is about creating a mosaic of habitats, which is what every single garden and indeed our landscape should be. And that's everything from wildflower meadows, hedgerows, trees, scrub belts, longer grassy areas, wildlife ponds, you name it, we should have all of these habitats, and we can have all of these habitats even within small spaces in our own back gardens. My front garden at my old property was a mini example of this, which was 20 square meters of front garden that I turned into a little mini oasis, which was beneficial for so much life over the 2-year period that I was monitoring it for, which I'll put a link to at the end of this video. But it's about creating a mosaic of habitats. So although part of this hedge has been laid, and some of you may be watching this and thinking you've just destroyed an entire ecosystem or you've wrecked a perfectly good habitat, well, there are many sections of hedge that have been left as they are. We've got stands of blackthorn further up this hillside, which are really thick, which are great roosting spots for our thrush species, so blackbirds, redwings, fieldfares. We've also got more down this way. We've got more decaying wood and rotting old trees in the hedge line down there. So it's not like we've come and eradicated an entire ecosystem and destroyed it. We've actually used it to our advantage to create another habitat and slightly diversify what is already here. So I hope this video has made sense. I hope you've enjoyed watching me lay this hedge. My arms are going to take a little while to recover, I think, so I shan't be doing any more this season, that's for sure. But hats off to all of you who are out there practicing the very skillful art of hedge laying. It is an absolute art, and I really do value the very skilled craftsmen who are out there doing this year in, year out. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope it's given you an insight into how we can manage some of our hedgerows here in the UK, and also how you can create more habitats in your own garden. Obviously, if you're looking for anything like this and you're in the UK, drop me a line, enquiries@hazelwoodlandscapes.com. I of course travel nationwide making habitats like this for wildlife, along with the wildlife ponds, wildflower meadows, and everything in between, as I'm sure you already know. And thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing, and you then hopefully will get notified every time I'm creating a new video about stuff like this, creating new habitats and helping wildlife. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned, stay wild. I'll see you all very soon.